And welcome to another episode of Dose and a Half Cincos. This is episode number 30.
Yes.
As always, I'm your host, David.
And I'm Stuart. Shut up, Ben. No, stop it.
Yo, you're Ben. All right, I'm Stuart. Hi.
Excellent.
I'm Big Mom.
So this is episode number 30.
Oh,
Guys, we made
midlife
it.
crisis this podcast
I know.
is about to have.
This one's it's going to go out and get a sports car.
Actually, what age
And,
is midlife crisis considered to be?
Well,
30.
depends. Whatever midlife is, right? For like if you were back in the medieval times, mid-age was
15?
8.
8?
Yeah, some people died at like 16. I'm having midlife crisis, Mom. I don't think I've hit puberty yet.
I think we've made a joke like this before, and I think a lot of people make the same joke. And I just wanted to point that out.
Wait,
Not
David,
really.
how old are you?
All right, so this week I am 32.
And that's when the midlife crisis happens.
Nope, happened 2 years ago, and it never ends.
Oh, is it every day is a crisis?
Wait, what day is it today?
No,
the year. The year. Sorry.
Wow.
Okay.
What year is
So, this week we are covering, as we have been for the last several weeks, is Street Sharks Season 2, Episode 4, titled Freshwater Sharks.
Yeah, and just to be clear, we haven't been covering the same episode every week. This is the new episode.
Wait,
This
we
is
haven't?
the next episode in the series.
Wait, but I've been talking about the same episode every week.
Oh.
And Ben's been watching Episode 1 over and
Yeah.
over again.
But somehow his commentary was still relevant.
I don't know. Maybe it's just every episode's the same, except for me and Stu feel like it's different. But
Yeah.
Ben's like,
But then
no,
when Ben
it's-
talks about it, it still is relevant to us in the episode.
Well, I will say that they definitely have not cut back on the amount of times they say the words "jawsome," and then they have to announce
Shark dive.
Shark dive.
I-
Yeah.
Shark
feel like-
dive.
I think if I should start a running tally. I think every episode so far they've introduced like a new shark pun.
Wait, what was
I think
what
what
was
we
in this
should do
one?
is we should find out. What do you mean? What's new in this one?
Yeah, what was
There was a couple in this one. One that I remember was Sharkamundos. Which isn't really a
No. The other one was
Just
Finmeisters.
yeah. I don't know if Sharkamundo is really a pun, but you know what I'm trying to say.
It's shark related.
Yeah, a shark-related mashup.
Yeah. Well, so in this episode, there is a plan to. They were previously foiled, trying to gene slam
Dr. Paradigm.
Rock. Yeah, Dr. See, I want to call him Paranoid.
You can call
but
him
that's only
either.
because. But here's the thing: is because Ripster calls him Paranoid, but then everybody else says Dr. He always says Paranoid. Instead of
Paranoid.
Paranoid. Yeah, no.
I
So
don't-
the sharks call him Paranoid,
Mm-hmm.
but then everybody else that's around him call him Paranoid.
Yeah, I don't.
It's really weird. I don't know, but in this episode they were foiled, and then now they're trying to contaminate the water supply, and then give the government officials a pill that will gene slam them into subservient animals. I think that covers it, right?
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Okay.
Moving on. So the box office rundown.
Wait, what? We're done with this already?
No.
So I thought it was really interesting. I don't know why it finally caught on to me, but I was just thinking, I was like, man, do they have to announce their powers kind of like Power Rangers do?
Or like,
like, oh,
seismic slam.
Uh-huh. And shark dive.
I
It's
mean,
like,
how else do
does
we-
it not activate if they don't do it? Well, I mean, they're sharks.
How else can we follow the story if they weren't calling their actions? Like, we wouldn't know. Like, oh, they just dove under the into the asphalt. Oh wait, no, it's a shark dive. Okay, I got it.
Wait, do Power Rangers even announce their moves?
Do they have moves? Besides
I
their,
mean, when they like got out the weapons and stuff like that, didn't they all stump
no,
something?
I
I
don't
mean
think
maybe
so.
their like final move in their Megazord, but they didn't even
Yeah.
call that out. They just did that motion, that little dance.
yeah,
And
All I know is they always said the words Kia. Kia.
Kya!
was
On
announcing
the
a
topic of Power Rangers, since when did Dr. Paradigm have like putty style like foot soldiers?
oh, you mean
Has he
the
always had
robots?
those? Yeah.
No,
Have they always
those
been
robots were. Oh, those were in the factory, huh?
there? What episode was that? I don't remember
That's the
seeing
same.
them.
No,
No,
this is
this
it.
episode,
This is the
this
right
episode.
episode.
Yeah, yeah. So like, that's like the first. This like he just kind of, hey, guess what? There, I have robot soldiers now.
Yeah, I was kind of weirded out by that. I'm like, where'd these things come from? But
I felt like I was like missing something from the previous episodes.
no, I was pretty weirded out too. And let me say, like the when the robots came out, they used the same shot of them coming out, I think 4 times throughout the episode. um,
Budget cuts.
It's
You have to make sure it spreads across the entire series.
it's called working smart, not working hard.
oh yeah, there was also a part when they introduced the robots where I guess they didn't have enough footage of this, but they were panning over the factory or something, and they were zooming in on Slopster, right? And they I guess didn't have enough footage of it, so they did a freeze frame on Slopster while he's pouring like what was it, acid or something? Remember when they first got in?
Oh, and then they seismic slammed that into the ground.
Yeah, so he's pouring the acid, and it zooms in on him, but they didn't have enough footage of it, so they freeze framed it and zoomed in on him while talking to him still. But so while he's pouring the acid just stops halfway through, and it just awkwardly zooms in on him, and then it resumes later with him responding back to the street sharks. It was kind of weird.
I don't know if I was paying that close attention when I was watching it, because I was watching it at work.
Wow.
But
Give
let
that
me
man
just-
a raise.
Darren, did you hear that? He was watching Street.
Oh, he's
Sharks at
probably
work.
reading about Byzantium or something.
Still?
Wait,
When is he not?
why are you taunting your manager
My
on this podcast?
my manager?
Darren's white. He's your
Oh,
manager.
okay. Well, he doesn't listen to this anyways, so it's fine.
Wow.
Well, that's true because he would have definitely been mad at once he found out that we slammed him about like maps.
We gene
in
slammed him.
1917. Yeah, Gene slammed him.
We seismic
still
slammed
can't-
him.
I still cannot figure out the voice of Killamari. I don't know why it bothers me so much. I'm like trying to figure out who he sounds like.
No, I definitely recognize him too, but I don't know who it is, and I don't want to look it up. But that's really
Okay. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we'll eventually. Hopefully, by the end of the entire series, before the dinosaurs show up in this series, maybe we'll figure it out by then.
Yeah. Wait, him and the hammerhead shark. I feel like I've heard the hammerhead shark before somewhere too. Oh, there it is.
I don't know.
There it is.
They all just sound
yeah.
like the same guy with that different inflections.
Different
Slightly different radical tonalities.
One of them was in the morning. One of them was in the afternoon. One
Yeah.
was after happy hour.
One's a little more bodacious than the next. So
One's a little bit country. The other one's a little bit
okay.
For me, I think the interesting part was if we're talking about like shark related references, do shark gills really filter out smoke grenades or tear gas?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
And that was our rundown of Street Sharks. Anyways.
All right. Well, this week, any other thoughts from you guys on this episode of Street Sharks?
Yeah, why the fuck was Dr. Paradigm wearing a cloak over his battle suit? Now it's just weird because it's like in the other episodes he's not wearing it, and now he has this gigantic ass like Grand Wizard cloak over
I
it.
think because he was trying, like his goal was to look like a supervillain, but then everyone was just kind of like, oh no, that's just Dr. Paradigm. So he keeps having to one up. He has to kind of like keep one upping himself in order for someone to be like, hey, this guy with the power armor and the cloak and the fortress lab, do you think he might be up to something? But
Next week, Fedora.
It's the classic
That's
case
how
of he's trying to get caught, like he's a cry for help.
Oh, that's true. Oh, and then we also get a glimpse of possibly their father.
Yeah, we got the silhouette. I can't.
And also why does he look like he's melting?
I don't know. He looks like a sea slug or something. I'm trying to determine what kind of animal he was.
All right, that's your guess. What about you, Ben? What do you think?
I think it's actually Calamari who's their dad, even though we clearly see that it was a regular squid.
I'm gonna guess a moray eel.
That's a pretty specific.
Moray eel, not any other type of eel. Moray eel. That's my guess. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for that segment. We'll jump straight into our box office rundown for this week. At number 1 is no surprise. That is Onward with 39 million. Number 2 is Invisible Man, 15.1. The Way Back,
Still.
the Ben Affleck basketball movie, comes in at number 3 with 8 million. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ben Affleck,
number
the
4.
basketball movie.
The basketball movie. Let's call it what it is. The Call of the Wild. That is Harrison Ford, the dog movie. Emma.
The girl movie.
Emma, number 6, girl movie. Bad Boys for Life, number 7, Will Smith.
The movie with
Bad Boys movie. What's it gonna do? Oh, sorry. Number 8 is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, not a Halloween movie. Number 9, Impractical Jokers, the movie.
What the fuck?
With 1.8. This is Stu's favorite movie. He won't stop shutting me up about it. And number 10 is My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising. And that rounds up our top 10. Falling out of the top 10 was 1917, Brahms the Boy 2, and Fantasy Island. Gentlemen, this is our week's box office rundown. Any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns?
Did you say that the Sonic movie was the movie about hedgehogs?
Wait, what?
Did you?
No, you started that trend at, I think, Call of the Wild, the dog movie.
No, I started it with The Way Back, and
and then you skipped over Sonic. Oh, that was
Wow.
Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a thing from now on. Just when you try to, if I don't know what it is, I'm just gonna guess what it is.
The Invisible Man, the movie about Invisible Man.
Invisible Man, the movie about male rights suffrage.
The male rights movement. That's a pretty. That would be if I were on the board of the writers for whatever movie that would be. That's the title I would go with.
Can you imagine if we were writing all the title lines for all the IMDb stuff? They're looking for a synopsis. The Invisible Man, a movie about an invisible man.
Dude's invisible. Next. Way back.
I like that. Way back. He's back.
Dude plays
basketball.
Dude drinks alcohol and then coaches basketball. Next. Sonic the Hedgehog, furry blue critter runs fast. Next.
Dude, I feel like we're playing like one of those like a guessing like board game charades kind of thing where they just like it's like playing Blockbuster from Christmas. They flip up a card. And then you can read what it is. They're trying to get you to guess, and then you're like, "Oh, I know what that is. Hedgehog, blue, Sonic the Hedgehog." Next,
Yeah.
Dog and Harrison Ford. The Call of the Wild. Next.
I mean, it wouldn't be too far removed from our Blockbuster party game that we did, where that's basically what people were doing.
Yeah.
What was it that you're supposed to say a line from the movie, but if you can't think of one, you can make one up? I'm a hedgehog, and I run really fast, and I'm blue,
Yeah.
and
Well, you couldn't say
Sonic
that one.
speed.
You couldn't say that one because you said hedgehog.
Oh, damn.
You're out. You lose.
Yep,
Next.
you lose. Card goes to
Next.
me.
I'm a dog. I talk with Harrison Ford.
He doesn't even talk.
I don't.
Telepathically. I don't know. I've never seen
See,
it.
even if you're making up a quote, you can't say the name of the actor in the movie because that is like, there is no way that in the movie a quote
I'm pretty sure they said it at one point that it was okay.
that you
I
can
don't
say
remember
the
the rule.
actor's name.
I don't remember the rule.
I don't
Wait.
think so.
What about the movie JCVD?
What?
Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's like a weird.
Oh, there's a
movie
movie called JCVD.
with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's fine.
See, then you could actually say his name,
For the one movie where that happens.
or being John Malkovich,
Okay,
Huh?
the two movies where that happens in.
or I can't think of it.
Yeah, what else you got? Yeah, nothing. That's what I thought.
I got nothing.
But yeah. Besides this new thing that we're doing now, which I'm trying to guess all the the movies by giving you stuff. Anything interesting that you guys notice besides the fact that Impractical Jokers is still in the top 10? Or not to anybody? Everybody else is surprised besides Stu.
No, I mean it wasn't too busy of a week. It was just these two movies that came out.
Yep.
I didn't kind of expect The Way Back to, blow up the box office. I don't know. Do those types of movies tend to do a lot of money, or do they do okay? Or
Not really. I mean, like sports movies.
not really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think The Blind Side did pretty well, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, Blindside did well because it got that Oscar buzz going around it. I think without it, probably wouldn't have done as well.
what is the highest grossing like sports movie?
I don't know, like
Any Given Sunday, or I don't know.
Air Bud.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Wait, which one?
The first
Original.
What about Air?
You say highest budget or highest grossing?
grossing.
Oh, the highest budget would have to be Space Buddies, the one where Air Bud goes into space.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's one where Air Bud goes into space. Space Buddies.
Okay, so I'm on Wikipedia right now.
Furious 7 does not count.
I know. I was about to say, why are the Fast and Furious movies even on this list? They're 1, 2, and 3.
Forrest Gump also. Hobbs and Shaw's number 4. That's also a Fast and Furious movie.
Fast
don't think
5
these
is
count.
also. That's also. Who
Motor
made this
racing is
list?
the sport. Cars 2?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, this is not a good list.
Okay.
Okay.
No, Forrest Gump does not count
Alright.
as a sports
I think
movie.
we need to take it upon ourselves to curate this list.
We're gonna end up editing this thing. It's gonna be the number 1 movie is gonna be Karate Kid, the one with Jaden. Oh, no.
I'm gonna see how far down I can go this list before I find one that's actually about sports.
The Karate Kid and The Blind Side, and
Rocky
Django.
4.
That is a
Oh,
sports
no.
movie.
Yeah.
Real Steel? No, what?
Wait, the robot boxing one?
Yeah, the robot boxing one. $299 million.
I don't know if I would technically. I would know if I would consider Karate Kid a sports movie, because I mean it has a sports element to it, but it's not like your Rocky or what's the other one?
If that's the case, then it's this Indian movie called Dangal.
What's the one with Sammy Jackson? He's the basketball coach, Coach Carter, or
No, you're gonna have to go far down.
that's probably not even on here.
Is racing racing outside of Fast and Furious considered a sport?
I think that's gonna be highly debatable.
Debatable, yeah.
Like, is that
I
a racing movie?
people who
or
love
is it, or is that a sports movie?
I don't know.
Well, I feel like because I don't consider NASCAR a sport, but I do consider like Formula 1 kind of a sport because that one's crazy.
I think it's like different categories. It's hard to define a sport because I would say that
competition
racing is not really a sport, but it is a competition. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it's called motor sports.
that's true. I don't know. It's all.
And then there's also esports, but I also don't count those guys as athletes.
Hey, come on now. They require a lot of training and fuel, a lot of gamer
That's
fuel,
true. Oh yeah,
a lot of
Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I know we were kind of dunking on Mountain Dew Code Red episode or two
I was
ago.
not dunking on it.
Well,
I love Mountain Dew Code Red.
I was, but
All
but
right, this has been the last episode Stu will ever be on.
wait, I'm gonna extend an olive branch.
Okay.
The Mountain Dew. I don't know if you guys have tried the new Mountain Dew Coke Zero or Zero Sugar. I mean,
Nope.
it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good.
Just the regular Mountain Dew?
No, the Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. I don't know if you've seen the commercial with Bryan Cranston. And
Oh, yeah. He goes, I have Mountain Dew Zero, and then
Yeah.
he breaks it down like in The Shining.
yep, but it's actually pretty good. So yeah,
Would you have tried it if it was any other spokesperson besides Bryan Cranston?
probably. I was at the grocery store waiting in line, and they had a like they do like
Fridge.
pot, like they just stack up stuff in random places, and there was a big stack of it next to me, and I was staring at it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll try it.
Here's Mountain Dew Zero.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
All right.
Shout out to
All
Mountain
right,
Dew. Thanks for sponsoring. Checks in the mail.
We're not sponsored by Mountain Dew.
No,
But thanks for sponsoring Mountain Dew.
I'm paying them.
Oh, you're welcome. We're gonna plug you guys. Any other thoughts? Ben, surprise Onward #1.
I'm actually surprised that didn't do as well as I thought it would.
Do you think this is more to do with the fact that the film wasn't good,
Coronavirus.
or coronavirus?
I wouldn't say. Well, I don't know. I mean, it did 40 million. That's not very good for Pixar. Or
Yeah, Pixar usually is what, like 80 million the
I
first
think-
weekend.
I think probably because the subject matter of the movie is not that appealing. Well, which I don't know. It should be. I feel like it should be appealing to people who are like super into like Frozen and all the other ones, because like it's all kind of similar stuff.
yeah, I
But-
don't know. It's interesting because I feel like the topic is kind of relatable to a lot of people. You know, it's like, oh, hey, they're regular people, but it's a weird twist on it. You know, so it's not really too far out there. I don't think.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's no princesses in it.
Maybe. I don't know. But maybe it's coronavirus. Maybe not as many people are going out to movies right now because of that. I mean, I do know that it is affecting the global market for movies, but I don't know about domestic. Like, actually, yeah, I believe all of China's theaters are closed now.
Wow, really?
Or maybe they only let one theater goer go at a time.
No, I think that's actually all closed.
Yeah, they're all closed.
And
Yeah, no, in Wuhan they've pretty much like locked up the streets. You can't go outside.
yeah, but I mean, like in all of China, I mean,
Oh.
all 70,000 theaters.
Wow.
70,000.
Yeah, by comparison, we have 7,000.
We have what?
I believe. I think that was the comparison. You could.
Holy crap! They have 10 theaters that are every one,
I think so. Someone fact check me on that because
That doesn't-
and we can't even get IMAX laser here in Fullerton. What the frick? Where are you investing your money, AMC?
China,
Wait. What's IMAX laser?
where they injected right into your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
They shoot the movie
Yeah,
into
they
your
just-
eyes via laser.
Yep. And then you're actually in. It's not that you're in the movie or immersed in the movie. The movie's in you.
Oh,
And then you
Yeah,
go blind.
But yeah, we'll take that and we'll just jump straight into our movie of the week since you guys were already talking about it. Onward is our movie of this week. I wanted to give a crack at it.
Oh,
the
here we go.
synopsis.
All right.
All right. So Onward. Except for being an elf in a once magical land, Ian is just another typical teenager trying to navigate his way through life. Turning 16 should be a momentous occasion to learn how to drive and how to awkwardly make friends. But all he's ever wanted to know is who his dad is. But all he's ever known about his dad is a voice recording until this most unexpected birthday gift sends Ian and his brother Barley on an adventure of a lifetime on a race against the clock to have the chance to meet their father for the first time.
Boo.
What?
what? It was fine. I think it was fine.
Yeah, fine if you suck. Boo!
Yeah.
Did you want to do something about Homeward Bound or something?
No.
Three dogs or-
Fuck the movie of the week. We're reviewing David's synopsis of the movie of the week, Onward, and I would give it a 1 out of 10 below Rise of Skywalker. You know what? Let's give it a 0 out of 10 because I want my time and my money back. You know, I want to get paid for that. Give me that shit.
Why was it so bad?
Well, first of all, I got cancer from it. Second of all,
also I got coronavirus from it. My cancer got coronavirus from it.
You're welcome. Now your cancer is gonna go away.
Oh. They can duke it out for my soul.
Ben, thoughts on Onward?
We're just mixing it all up this week.
Oh yeah. Just going after it.
Ooh, here we go. You know, I thought I was gonna not like this movie, and I ended up liking it quite a bit. You know, it wasn't like the best movie in the world. It was a little uneven, but I did really enjoy it. I really enjoyed, you know, man, I don't know, some of it really kind of hit me, so it was a bit unexpected. And without giving too much away, I mean, there's a few things I want to touch in the spoiler zone, so I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I liked it even with all its flaws. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Stu?
Wow, that's harsh. How come you thought you weren't gonna like it?
I don't know. It's just like usually when there's a Pixar film coming out, I'm a little more excited about it. There's something usually to draw me in, and I didn't really hear too much about this other than, oh yeah, it's 2 elf dudes and they go on an adventure.
It's because they didn't have a princess in it, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's no Frozen.
It'll never be Frozen, or Frozen 2,
or Frozen 3,
or Brave, or Tangled, or.
Well, I mean, Brave was kind of shit, but you know.
I never saw any of them. Oh, okay. Really? I thought it.
Yeah, no, Brave was pretty shit.
Or live action Mulan.
You mean live action Wuhan? Am I right?
Woo!
No, don't woo that.
Woo this man.
Wuhan this man. Woo.
So my thoughts on Onward. Unlike Ben, I really liked this movie and I was super hyped for it.
Ooh.
And I really enjoyed it. Because I think the main thing I thought I was gonna like about it was the premise. When I first saw the preview, I was like kind of like, oh, that looks cool. I want to see that. And then for me, when I went to watch it, I really did enjoy it. And I think it probably what we will probably all agree on. There was some really kind of like very, very touching moments in it, in addition to like all the adventure and the goofs and the fun that they were all having. So, and it really made me want to play D&D.
Oh my god, yeah. Holy God. I did want to get into that, but yeah.
Well, we'll get into it. But for me, this is like real high up on my list of animated movies. So I actually gave it a 9.5.
Ooh.
Whoa. Oh, I should have went second then. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
And
wow.
Well, I got to reserve the 10 out of 10. I'm pretty sure something else is going to come out this year. You can't be giving it away right away.
Can't be giving out 10s willy-nilly.
That's right. We want 10 to mean something here at Dos Nasnicos. For me, I was actually a little bit... I was kind of in the same camp that was with Ben. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it because there were just kind of was very hush-hush about this movie. It's not as big as like, you know, Toy Story or obviously like Frozen. So those movies, it's much harder to kind of go in with a blank slate, not really expecting very much. I had no idea that it was going to be, it has a little bit of everything for everybody, right? If you're huge into D&D, like you guys had mentioned before, you'll get something out of it. If you're looking for a kid's movie, you'll also get something out of it. And like you guys said, like it kind of was like, I got the entire plate. It was funny. There was a lot of excitement, adventure, and then at the same time, it was also kind of sentimental. So, for me, I thought this was a really fun movie and a different spin on a classic tale of just like kids growing up in high school and stuff like that. So, Yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. And I would say go see it if you enjoy Pixar movies in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts before we jump into the spoiler zone?
I'm kind of I'm starting to think now, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, why would, like, it, on the one hand, yeah, it didn't seem like it was promoted that widely. I remember seeing a preview for it, like, several months ago, and that was when I first wanted to see it, and then it took forever for it to come out, but then in between there, I don't feel like, because, like, there's some movies, like, every movie you go to, there's a preview for it.
Yeah, this one just didn't seem like
that.
It
Wasn't the case for this one. Like, I think that was the first, back when I first saw it, that was probably, like, one of the only times I saw a preview for it. Since then, I don't think it's ever, like, I've seen more previews for Quiet Place 2 than I did for this one, so.
Maybe the Fox team got a hold of this one and promoted it the same way that they did with Dark Phoenix.
Wow. No.
Poorly?
I think it was so that they didn't run into too much competition with Mulan. But I don't know.
It's also kind of a weird part to, like, release this movie during the cycle, right? Like, usually these movies are usually around spring break
or summer.
I mean, we're pretty close to spring break.
Summer. Oh yeah, we're in March.
Yeah.
This time change thing is really throwing me off now.
This whole hour just looped me for a season. Ooh.
All right, guys, let's go to the beach. Oh God, it's like 42 degrees.
Yeah, jump on in the spoiler zone. The water's fine.
Oh, it's freezing cold.
The water's frozen.
No, it's not. Onward
into the
spoiler zone.
We could have done better.
Yeah.
On that.
Ben, since you sounded like you wanted to be the first one to go, I'll let you go first. What did you want to talk about?
Like, I didn't hate the movie. I did really enjoy it. I just thought that, some of it was a little bit uneven. I don't know. Like, I feel like they could have done a better job with the whole mom storyline. It just felt like it was kind of squished in there and didn't really have any meaning. It was just like her, like, teaming up with Manticore, and they didn't do jack shit, almost. Except they got the sword, right? And it was used at the very, 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 very end. And they could have just, jammed anything in there. They could have said that thing didn't have a weak point or something. But aside from that, I did really, really like the movie. There were a lot of cool... I don't know, it felt very D&D-esque, like Stu said, like a lot of the problem solving that they did was just like, work with what you got, right? And it's like, all right, let's do a roll check for it, like they're going down the waterway, right? And it's like, oh, I wonder,
Cheeto.
Yeah, could I just enlarge the Cheeto?
Hey, DM, can I cast this on a Cheeto?
Yeah,
sure, roll for it.
Roll.
See if you can.
Roll. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. What was it? One of the things I really liked about this movie was a lot of the brands of different items that they had in the world. Like, what was it? When the Manticore was in that car, she was chugging a lot of Monster Energies, which is pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
And what was it? I think Chris Pratt's character, he was drinking, what was it? Mountain Doom.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't
part.
pick up on that stuff.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, Mountain Doom. That was one of my favorite ones. I mean, there were some other ones sprinkled throughout the movie, but it was fun watching for those. I will say that what was it? My favorite part of the movie was when they went to the Manticore's lair, or the Manticore's tavern. Sorry, and the stupid guy in the costume. That guy was fucking.
I want to see the Manticore, and he's just dancing around like Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, pretty much. Holy fuck, that part was killing me, especially when she starts going off the deep end, and then the other dude's trying to copy her.
Oh right.
Yeah, dude, that was really getting me. And to balance that all out, you had those really hard hitting emotional moments, especially towards the end when we finally start hearing Chris Pratt kind of open up about like what he thought of his dad, because the whole focus the whole time was on Tom Holland's character and what he's going through, but then you realize, oh wait, this is also Chris Pratt's dad, and you kind of hear what he has to say about it, and it just, man, like it went down a dark road. I was just like, yeah, I didn't want to see my dad because he had all those tubes in him, and it was just like, oh shit.
It got real at that point.
I know, and it was a nice pivoting point. It was just kind of revealing how it like how he also needed a father figure in his life, and it also left him, but it was more meaningful to Chris Pratt's character, and I really liked how it transitioned, especially at the end, where all the focus is on Chris Pratt and his dad rather than Tom Holland trying to meet his dad, who he's never known.
Yeah.
I really like that turn at the end where, everything leading up to it makes you think that like it's gonna be, what was his name, Ian's
Ian and Barley,
like Ian's reunion, or not reunion, but meeting his dad for the first time, but then it like switches and completely just, and it's like, yeah, you know what, that does make sense. It kind of does make sense that it, given that what Barley revealed about his fourth memory of his dad, that it was a really good, nice thing that Ian did to, instead of getting to meet his dad for the first time, is to let Barley have that, get that resolution, that closure, that he was too scared of as a kid to do. So I really like that turn.
Yeah.
I think for me, I wasn't so bothered by the fact that the mom's storyline wasn't so fleshed out, or it wasn't as prevalent or prominent, mostly because I feel like that would have probably, I feel like they wanted to make sure that was like away, so that way they could focus on this like quest and the part for them for eventually Ian to like become like a little bit more introspective and realize that he's had a dad all his life. But it wasn't necessarily his like biological father.
Like a father, he had a father figure.
Father figure.
Yeah. So my problem with that wasn't so much that they should have made the mom's part better. I mean that could have been something cool. Make it a little more tied into the main theme of the story, where a father figure or someone to look up to, right? Either that or just remove her part altogether, because it just felt really unnecessary. At that point,
Well, I don't know. I would have felt it would have been unbelievable if they had run off on this quest and mom just kind of sat at home and go, where are the kids at?
Yeah, I don't know. Just
24 hours.
I feel like they could have solved it with like, hey, where are my sons? Hey, Bronco, go after them, and then Bronco could have done something, or they could have had this other storyline where they have to come to terms with this other guy that's in their life now. I don't know.
Did you guys notice that Bronco drove a Bronco?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
that was great.
Wow.
I feel like there was a lot of like subtle nudges. Like if you caught it, it was kind of like this inside joke that you had, right? I feel like, the oh my gosh, the
it was her main man.
The cube. MANE. I felt like they put a lot of like effort in, especially on the D&D elements. And I was reading an article that they actually consulted with the D&D team.
Gelatinous cube.
Yep. Gelatinous cube. Manticore, obviously, and the fact that everything starts at a tavern.
Yeah.
You
have no idea how much like them starting off in a tavern and the gelatinous cube. Like I was like itching to like, oh, I want to play D&D right now. Like
it was so good. It was so good, man.
Yeah. So I feel like for some people who haven't had that experience, I feel like that definitely would be something that it might have gone over their head just slightly, but it still doesn't detract from what happened here. And they kind of showed off like what you can do in D&D is give them an adventure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like how they were always kept saying it was like historically accurate.
Yeah. I remember that was like the main thing I liked about the premise of this movie was like this, because I don't feel like I don't think it's really been done before, where like you have this fantasy setting, kind of like a lot of the other Pixar movies, but then everything is just like right now, everything's just kind of contemporary. Like everyone's got cell phones and electricity and cars and just daily modern life, except everyone's also a magical beast or a magical animal. But anyways, to get one of the reasons why I think the only reason why I didn't give it a 10 was because I felt like the humor in this movie it was rated PG, but I feel like it was kind of slanted more towards a G rating as far as like the
Oh yeah, they definitely didn't push the envelope.
Like yeah, they didn't get a little. They could. I feel like they could have made it a little more. I don't know.
Edgy.
A little more. Yeah, I guess edgy is one way to describe it, but just like a little more PG. Because I feel like I was looking for an example, like Shrek was rated PG, and I feel like that had its jokes were a little more kind of like a lot of them were like kind of adult themed. Where this one, you know, it had some, but I felt like it was more. It was just they were playing it safe. As far as like the humor element.
Yeah, I didn't actually think that they were gonna have that many D&D references, so that was unexpected for me. Just kind of getting that aspect out of it. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of surprising. I was like, no way, they're gonna mention that. Oh, they mentioned that too. Okay, all right. Well, this is a different movie than. I feel like they could have probably marketed it a little bit better, because it definitely is more like I don't know, geek culture.
Yeah.
And it definitely would have probably sold a little bit better, I feel, if they had mentioned that.
Maybe like
hinted at it a little bit.
Maybe like the whole thing where like being a nerd or being like a geek, whereas like that's like become like a cool thing almost in a sense. But like something like D&D might still be a little too taboo for the general population. Like that's like a bridge too far. Like oh no, I love Big Bang Theory. But I'm not going to play D&D. That's for nerds, or something like.
Yeah, that's true. That definitely would bridge like the end gap, I guess.
But I think my favorite scene was when Barley when they were getting cornered by the police and he sent Guinevere.
Oh, that was a great scene. Holy shit!
Yeah.
He even gave it a slap on the
ass. When he gave it a slap on the bumper, I was like, oh, this is great. I love this scene.
And then the fucking tire bursts and it's like galloping.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit! That was like way too perfect. And it was like it was funny and heartbreaking at the same time. Yeah. It's like no, Guinevere.
Oh, Guinevere, no. It's like, it's like this beat up old van, but at the same time, you're like also picturing it as his valiant steed.
Yeah. It gave him everything.
I think my favorite was the first time he learned how to like do the invisible bridge, and he starts walking, and then he's like walking. He goes, "You still got me, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, I still have the rope." And he just keeps walking.
He ain't wrong.
Turns around, and then he almost falls at that point. Oh, so good.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like the entire movie is kind of like that, where there's like lots of like different everything could be kind of segmented into its own moment. Like kind of like when they see their dad dancing, and then you see Barley kind of like stand behind him pretending to be his arms, and then you can kind of get that. And I really enjoyed this movie a lot. This is one of my definitely top 5 for me now
Wow. Yeah, I can't wait for it to get on Disney Plus, so it can be my new streaming movie, because I know I've been watching I haven't been watching it as much anymore. Zootopia, I mentioned before, where I was like watching it like all the time.
Yeah.
This will supplant that.
Okay. Any other thoughts, guys?
Nope, man. I think that's everything.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to exit the spoiler zone at this point.
Wait.
If you...
Sorry.
What? Go ahead.
Let's back up 2 steps. Yeah. Did you guys keep getting a Jack Black vibe from Barley's character?
No,
from Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Even like the way the dude walks and everything, it just seemed like Jack Black. This role was made for Jack Black, but it's Chris Pratt.
If this were like 20 years ago or 10 years ago, this probably would have been Jack Black instead of Chris Pratt.
Well, then who would you have had paired with instead of Tom Holland?
No, I think Tom Holland was good. It's just that I think the Chris Pratt playing this character could have been Jack Black. Yeah.
Jack Black and Michael Cera. Orange County 2. All right.
God.
But yeah, I got also because I kept getting like a Jack Black / brutal legend kind of vibe from this guy.
That's exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I know there's a video game.
Yeah. And I was really hoping like at the end there'd be like a stinger or an end scene where like they're like gearing up to go on like another quest or something.
Yeah, it definitely leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
You know? Especially he's got the staff, and he's reintroducing magic. There's gotta be something else out there.
Yeah, and then Barley could be like it can be like a warrior class, since he doesn't have magic. So I was hoping to like see them go on like a quest like that. I guess they kind of did at the end, but with the flying Guinevere.
Yeah. That was the other thing I was kind of hoping more of. Like, they leaned into the D&D stuff a little more because, there's other classes and stuff. It'd been really nice to have everyone or every class kind of represented. But we only get kind of 2. So it's just like, okay.
His brother did mention at the beginning, is like, you could be a rogue.
Yeah. I that's what I was hoping because, when they're mentioning at the beginning, I'm like, oh, hopefully, this kind of comes back, and harkens back to this. And they get a rogue or something, or someone else in their party. But it was just the 2 of them. And, that's not a bad thing.
I mean, I guess, in a sense, like, they kind of got, they weren't really in the party the whole movie, but they kind of got the Manticore in their, it's a warrior class, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like if they were to do a second one, I would love for them to kind of like joke at getting a bard. And then eventually at some point, then I think Barley turns into the bard. And they're like...
But then you really need to have Jack Black.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Why did this guy's voice change?
Jack Black stuff.
All right, so Jack Black, if you are listening to this podcast...
But I also like Chris Pratt,
you are.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
You need to... No, we can get another character that looks just like him and has black hair.
He'll be like
long black hair, yeah.
He'll be like a gnome bard.
Oh,
would that work?
How about dwarf bard?
Yeah, I guess that would work too.
Ooh, did you guys catch the reference to the Lord of the Rings?
Oh, what do you mean at the burger place?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Now serving second breakfast.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Damn.
Oh, that was like one of the first things. Like for me, I feel like it had a little element of everything, right? It rewarded you for noticing, right?
Yeah.
Gelatinous cube, second breakfast. You guys talking about Ben talking about Mountain Doom, and energy drinks and stuff like that, and yeah. So it was really cool. I feel like it was definitely accessible. And at the same time, it had those like subtle nudges.
Didn't the burger place have a name too? I was trying to think of
something Shire. I can't remember.
Shire Burger or something.
Yeah.
Burger Shire. No, I feel like I remember catching one. I just don't remember what it was. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to Disney Plus, we know that Stu will be very well versed in.
I'll just have to use my Regal Pass Unlimited to go see it again.
Oh.
Also, I'm a Regal boy now. I don't know if I told you guys.
Yeah.
No, I'm still an AMC guy.
No, you're still a mid-tier boy. That's what you are. Ooh.
I'm a mid-tier Regal boy.
Yeah.
Why are you top tier Regal boy?
I am, because there's no other fucking theater out here that takes lower mid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was forced into it.
I was forced into this life.
What's the difference?
It's just the number of theaters.
Besides the price.
Which theaters are participating in it, I guess?
Yeah, I'm Regal Ultra Sport.
Ultra Sport. I'm just Regal Sport. And then the lowest one will be Regal Active.
This is the one that has the juice bar in it.
Yeah.
The basketball court.
Towel service.
Oh.
They actually took that away from the Super Sport around here. It was that was like one of the perks, towel service.
Wow.
But this isn't. I don't want to get too far into 24-hour fitness gripes, because I have a plethora of things I could gripe about.
Well, so yeah, I think that will pretty much do it for this week's review of Onward. Let's talk about the movie for next week. What are we seeing, guys?
Well, I'm not aware of too many things coming out except for The Hunt.
Oh, well, I'm in for that.
No.
But then, there's another one too, isn't there, Ben? There's another movie.
You mean Fast and Furious 9?
Wait, that's out? That's not coming out already,
I'm
is
sorry. I mean Bloodshot. I'm sorry.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry.
What is
I see how
what
you can
is
get
that?
them confused.
I see what you did there. Based on the best-selling comic book, Vin Diesel stars as Ray Garrison, a soldier recently killed in action and brought back to life as a superhero Bloodshot by the RST Corporation. With an army of nanotechnology in his veins, he's an unstoppable force, stronger than ever and able to heal instantly. But in controlling his body, the company has swayed his mind.
Are you just reading the entire movie summary here?
That's right. Now Ray doesn't know what's real and what's not, but he's on a mission to find out. On next week's Dos and a Half Cincos.
Wow.
No, we're seeing The Hunt.
Wait, really?
It's either that or we just make this week the special edition.
Special
room.
edition.
Oh, because of The Room. So if you're listening to this and it's not March 14th, please feel free to join us at the Frida on Saturday the 14th at 10 p.m. for The Room, The Experience.
In the very unlikely event that this episode gets posted before this weekend.
We've also mentioned it on previous weekend.
That's true. But
weeks
none of
before
those
also.
episodes are posted either. So
They will be very soon.
okay.
But you also could catch us on our Facebook page. Make sure to like and subscribe there. Also, don't forget on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud,
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts,
Google
and
Play
Google Play
Podcasts.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wait, so-
if you guys can't subscribe on any of those, then I don't know how you're listening to this.
YouTube? Did you say YouTube?
I did say YouTube.
Okay.
We want to try to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year. That'd be great.
I don't know why on SoundCloud our first episode has the most listens, and it's clearly the worst episode.
Well, it's because they probably are like, I gave them a shot. Never gonna go forward.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're even bothering hosting 24 other episodes.
Yeah. There's we have 97 plays according to SoundCloud on the first episode, and none of the other ones come close. So
Maybe we're just not marketing this well enough.
That's true. Well, we'd have to market it to begin with. So
Ben, are you gonna see Tokyo Godfathers?
I was thinking about it. What?
Tokyo Godfathers, the acclaimed holiday. I'm just kidding.
Go on.
Holiday classic from Master Director Satoshi Kon returns to theaters in a brand new restoration. In modern day Tokyo, three homeless people
Say it that way.
because you have to say it in their accent.
say what?
Say
it's
what,
when-
in what accent? Say what?
It's like
way?
Well, I said Tokyo Godfather.
It's like when Spanish-speaking people are speaking English, but then they have to say a Spanish word, so in mid-sentence they switch accents.
Make sure to stop by and get your brand new grilled stuffed burrito at Taco Bell.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Pepsi.
Carne asada.
So, So we're agreeing that we're gonna review The Room Experience.
And not The Hunt. Yes.
What, you don't want to see The Hunt?
No, I don't.
I thought you did want to see it.
I did.
Yeah, I also
I
thought you
did.
wanted
And then
to
I was
see it.
looking at the credits. And guess who the fucking writer is?
I don't know. Those
David
things don't
fucking Lindelof. David Lindelof. Let me
These
tell you.
things-
No. We're going
These things
into
don't
this.
factor into my movie selections.
David
Ben.
Lindelof writes all the worst shit, man. Every fucking time I'm like, oh, I'm going to trust him this time. I think he's going to do something good. And then the first half of the
wrote
movie is
Star
really
Trek.
great. Yeah, Star Trek Into Darkness. Star Trek Into Darkness
And-
sucked ass, all right?
Oh,
And also
no,
the
he wrote-
original Star Trek.
He wrote
Yeah.
Prometheus. Oh no.
Yeah, he wrote Prometheus. God damn, man. He
Yo.
wrote Prometheus. Cowboys and aliens, man. Fucking cowboys and aliens.
World War Z.
World War Z was all right.
Eh. And Lost. Let me tell you, that was the biggest. Lost. Fucking Lost, man.
But it's got Dennis.
Fuck, you're right. Let's watch The Hunt.
Okay.
Well, next week will be a surprise if we all watch The Hunt. Maybe that'll be our movie of the week, or it'll probably be The Room. But I guess you'll have to tune in next week to find out. This is your host, David, signing off from the Dos and a Half Cinco's podcast, as always.
What the fuck was
From the
that?
Dos and a Half
I don't
Cinco's
remember. I
headquarters.
got.
Oh, I guess I'm Stuart, since that's how David's
Oh,
doing his
Ben.
outro.
Ben, bye. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Wait, was that really the end?
Yeah.
No, it's not the end.
Oh,
Was it?
I almost clicked stop.
All right, I'm stopping.
Well, thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Dos and a Half Cinco's. As always, I'm your host, David.
And I'm Stuart.
Oh shit, I actually did stop. I'm Ben.
Did you?
Okay, whoever's editing this, you have to like work a little.
Yeah, that was
harder.
Ben.
No, we're just gonna leave this last part out.
Yeah.
That's okay, fine. I guess Ben signed off a little early.
What do you mean I signed off a little? We
It
all
doesn't
signed
matter.
off a little
Ben
early.
Smalley has left the chat.
No, we did
No,
not.
we all
Yep.
did.
He
We
got
all did.
he got pump faked
No,
finally.
No, we
Yeah,
didn't.
juked.
It was a group
So
effort.
Stu, you don't have to worry about being overshadowed by Ben.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you your 5 minutes.
Okay. Actually, let's just stop now because I want to stop this recording before we get too close to an hour.
Oh yeah.
Okie dokie. All right.
We already signed off.
Goodbye.
Shut up. Bye.